What's up, weirdos? Is it fun to kidnap a woman? I'm not saying he kidnapped her, but that's what everybody online thinks because Ballerina Farm is like this scandal that has blown up, but the scandal is just this person's marriage and how this husband treats his wife. If you don't know the account, Ballerina Farm is a family TikTok account. She's got 9 million followers. It's Hannah's account, and it has basically become like the queen of Tradwives. Like anything that is about Tradwives is like her. She is 34 years old and she has 8 kids, and she gave up her entire life to raise those kids on a farm with her husband. But what's crazy about it is that an article came out recently that basically exposed and talked about how that wasn't the life that she wanted at all, and she just got kind of suckered into it and trapped because of her husband. Her husband is named Daniel, and he is a trust fund billionaire baby boy. His daddy owns airlines, and this is how he dresses.
When we started to farm, I was swept up in the beauty of learning to make food from scratch.
That is definitely a man who was born to a billionaire and then decided, oh, I'd like to be a little bit of a cowboy. I'd like to get a woman who's on an upwards trajectory into reaching fame and fortune and all of her dreams, and I'd like to trap her with children and then bring her out to a very remote area of America where she can mother those kids, do nothing else, and be my pretty little plaything while I put on a cowboy hat and play dress up as a Western boy, even though my dad is a billionaire who owns airlines. You have to be very rich to own a plane. He owns airlines. And his son is out here dressing like Tucker Carlson, trying to be a common man. Listen, we're gonna get into it, but I'm just gonna say my dad grew up in Arkansas, actually as a farmer. And when I've gone back and visited, I have been like on a cattle farm. And I can tell you right now, his clothing is far too pressed and his hat is far too clean to be a real cowboy. But that's not the point of this. Let me give you a little bit of backstory about how these two met. In the article, the author writes that Hannah Nealman, but we'll just say Hannah from now on, was the 8th of 9 children born to Mormon parents near Salt Lake City. So automatically the odds are stacked against her to have any sort of life outside of this one. But it says right here that Hannah gravitated towards ballet. At 14, she went to summer school at Juilliard. At 14, she was at Juilliard. Juilliard is like the art school. It's so exclusive. It's so hard to get into. Like Ivy League is hard to get into. Juilliard is harder to get into than Ivy. I think. That's true. I'm gonna stand by it. But at 14, she went there for summer school, and then she returned for her undergraduate degree, going for university. And she paid for that by competing in scholarship pageants. Remember pageantry, because pageantry is something that comes up later. The beauty pageants sometimes offered academic scholarships or tuition money to the winners. Yeah. Point being, she is a ballerina, but not just somebody who likes doing ballet. Like this guy likes being on a farm near cows. She is actually good at it. She is great at it. She is excellent at it. She got to Juilliard because of it. Now the article goes on to say that Daniel also grew up in a Mormon family, one of 9, and he's the son of David Nealman, billionaire founder of a number of commercial airlines, including JetBlue, like I said. And the author throws in that his upbringing was moneyed and suburban, just to really emphasize that this whole like, I'm a cowboy, it's like him trying to be different from his dad when really it's just like, you're playing dress up, but you're also bringing your wife along with you and stifling all of her dreams. The journalist for this article also asked him, was this what he always wanted? He said, yes, I expected Hannah to be more at home with the kids, but she said, I watched my parents working together, and so whatever we do, we gotta do it together. This life of living on a farm with 8 children is the life that he expected. It's just, he expected her to be doing a little bit more, actually. Now, cut to an earlier question asked in the interview where the journalist asked Hannah, is this the life she always expected? And her answer is a little bit different, and that's what this whole thing is about. Because people, including the journalist, started to notice that she talks a lot differently when her husband isn't there. And the answers that she gives and her backstory really seem to indicate that she was kind of trapped into this life. Look at this. So they're out right now, the journalist and Hannah, and the writer says, we drive past the dairy cows, looking out across a river valley and the arid mountains beyond. Was this what she always wanted, I ask, when we get a moment alone while Daniel checks on the animals? So they're alone, Daniel's not in the room. At other points in the interview, he is in the room, and her answers are very different. Was this life what she always wanted? And she answered, no. I was like, she pauses. My goal was New York City. I left home at 17, and I was so excited to get there. I just loved that energy, and I was going to be a ballerina. I was a good ballerina. She pauses again. But I knew that when I started to have kids, my life would start to look different. I was a good ballerina is one of the saddest things I've ever read, when in the context of her actually like achieving excellence, getting into Juilliard, and then getting trapped to this life, which fine. But she just said that's not the life she wanted. But she's a good Mormon wife. She's gonna say, well, it's fine. But how they met was, he was 23 and she was nearly 2 years his junior when they were introduced by a mutual friend at a college basketball game. Daniel says, I saw her and I was ready to go. Sign me up, I was thinking, let's get married. But she wouldn't go on a date with me for 6 months. Now, when you really want to date somebody and they say, no, no. For 6 months straight, that's your cue to leave her alone. But Daniel, the trust fund son of a billionaire, said, but I want it. I want it so bad. I want it so bad. Little crybaby prince. And so, one day she mentioned to Daniel that she was getting the 5-hour flight from Salt Lake City, Utah to New York City. Back to Juilliard. Back to ballet, the life, the dream, all of her future, all of her hopes, everything she's ever wanted. But she didn't realize his dad owned the airline. This is so creepy. They're saying it like it's a romantic story. It is so creepy. She says, so Daniel was like, I'm on that same flight. I remember checking in and them saying, you're 5A and you're 5B. I just thought, no way, that's crazy. Then Daniel smiles. I made a call. He had pulled strings at JetBlue, and so began their first date. She said, no, I really don't want to date you. I really don't want to date you. No, you're actually really lame. You're actually really corny. I actually have dreams. I have a future with ballet. I don't want to do it. Actually, matter of fact, these dreams and hopes are so important to me. I'm actually flying back from my home right now in Salt Lake City, Utah to go back to Juilliard. And he said, how about I call my dad and make sure that I can sit right next to you? That's stalking. Is that not stalking? That is. It's only okay because I guess she was fine with it? Daniel, bro, that is insane behavior. That's so weird. She goes on to say, back then I thought we should date for a year before marriage so I could finish school and whatever. And Daniel was like, it's not gonna work. We've got to get married now. She wanted to finish school, she wanted to continue her ballet dreams, she wanted to focus on her future, and he said, actually, that doesn't work for me. Even though you rejected me for 6 months straight, I'm gonna get on flights with you, I'm gonna pull strings, I'm gonna stalk you, and we have to get married now. I don't care if you want to finish your school. I want you more than I want you to be happy. By the way, the fact that she said, so I could finish school and whatever, as if she doesn't care. But if you look at the videos on her page, it is so clear that ballet is her one true love. By the way, her name on TikTok is Ballerina Farm. Ballerina before farm. She views herself as a ballerina, and now when Daniel's in the room with the interviewer, she has to say stuff like, yeah, I just, wanted to finish school or whatever. Like she doesn't even care about it. Obviously she does. Anyways, Daniel was like, it's not gonna work. We've got to get married now. After a month, they were engaged. 6 months of no! And her saying, well, if we're gonna date, it has to be a year before we get married. And it was a month and they were engaged. And in 2 months after that, they were married. So instead of not dating like she initially, and then after he stalked her on the plane, I guess he didn't stalk her, but that is what that is if she hadn't liked it. And are we sure that I don't, listen, there's a whole other layer of this if they're both in like Mormon families and he's from a powerful family. It's like, that's such a dynamic that it's like definitely playing into this. But even once she's there and she's trapped and she's like, okay, I guess we have to date. I guess we're dating because you're gonna follow me around for the rest of my life and I can't take a flight without you being on it next to me. Because imagine that, by the way, if she rejected him and was like, no, and then he gets on the plane next to her, it's like, I guess romantic, but also kind of a threat of like, anytime you're on a plane, I could be there next to you, so you better not reject. There's like subtext there, But even then, once they're dating, she's dead set on a year before we get married, and then 3 months, they're married. Then they move into an apartment Daniel rented on the Upper West Side. Oh my God, he's such a country boy. He's renting a second place on the Upper West Side with his daddy's money. You're not a cowboy, dude. You're an oil baron. You're not John Wayne. You're H.R. Pickens. The ones who know. But yeah, they're on the Upper West Side, and 3 months after that, she was pregnant. The first Juilliard undergraduate to be expecting in modern history. That's how unprecedented this is. This is how dedicated people are when they get to Juilliard. Nobody gets pregnant in modern history in Juilliard. Do you realize how crazy that is? I don't think that that's an exaggeration. It doesn't seem like they're writing it as a joke. He's saying that the first Juilliard undergraduate in modern history to be pregnant is her because everybody else is so focused on their dreams like she was until H.R. Pickens over here came in and tried to crush her and turn her into oil. Sorry, he's an oil baron. He's an oil baron, not a cowboy. And now she's pregnant. Remember earlier in the conversation when she said, I was going to be a ballerina. I was a good ballerina, but I knew that when I started to have kids, my life would start to look different. This is not a, oh, you know what? In the future, after I'd been doing ballet for a while, it ended up that I'd rather have had kids. She actively was trying to not be with this man. She was actively rejecting him and saying, no, this is more important to me. I actually really need to focus on my dreams. I actually really want to be a ballerina. This is incredibly important to me. And he said, well, my daddy has $1 billion. So your dreams of being a ballerina, it's like your little hobby, but my dad's so rich that I should be able to own you. Oh, you're going on a flight? right, guess what? I'm gonna call my daddy. That's literally what happened. He had pulled strings at JetBlue, and so began their first date. He called his daddy and said, this girl doesn't want to date me because she wants to do ballet. And then his daddy got him a seat next to her so that she would feel like she just has to do this. And then he got her pregnant so that she wouldn't be able to follow her dreams anymore. What a caring husband. Fuck off. Look at her. This is her doing ballet. Look at this. Look at this. She's enjoying herself. That's 2010 in China. Sorry, I'm getting heated. I gotta have a diet root beer. Root beer. Oh, come on, root beer. This is what a real cowboy looks like. Take notes, Daniel. Diet root beer in a mason jar with a handle glass. Not your freshly steamed black cowboy hat and your pressed white shirt. You're not a cowboy, you're a cosplayer. And by the way, the reason anybody cares about this in the first place is because she really blew up in like early this year, January, February, because she won a Miss American pageant. You know how I was talking about pageantry is really important? She was pregnant and she won a pageant. And there was this article written about it with the, who wrote this? The New York Times! Or I guess, oh wait, no. She gave birth 2 weeks prior to it. But like all of her training, she was pregnant. Look at her. This is her competing at Miss World right here in Vegas. And when that happened, she faced a lot of backlash from people. Like, listen, I made a Nara Smith video where I was talking about how people feel really inferior when you present yourself as being the perfect person. Because Nara Smith was like objectively making her videos as if she was actually doing the things, like making all these things from scratch, like that's something that she does. But then people started making fun of her and now she's like doing it ironically and kind of poking fun at herself. I think she's totally fine. And I think Nara Smith is like honestly smart for like rebranding and kind of being self-aware. I think that's totally cool. But as the Tradwife discourse really exploded and people were really upset, Ballerina Farm, Hannah was definitely one of the people at the epicenter because it was like, you have 8 kids, or I guess 7 at this time. Was it 7? No, it must have been 8 kids. And you're winning beauty pageants. And you are a objectively very talented ballerina. And you're milking cows, homeschooling these kids in this. So much that people were like, wow, it's like she's just making it look like it's that easy and it's not that easy. Wow. And people got mad at her. But now that this article has come out and you can see that her life is not at all what she wanted it to be, people are having a lot more empathy. And I want to show you one video specifically where she was given a birthday present from her billionaire husband. Oh, his dad's the billionaire. Okay, I'm sorry, he just has $800 million and then when his daddy dies, he's a billionaire. Just watch this video that they posted. I cannot believe they posted this video of her opening her birthday present. It's her birthday present. She gave up her entire life, sacrificed all of her dreams, all of her futures, all of her hope to be this man's wife and raise this man's kids. That's really what happened because she did not ask for this life. And he did. Remember, he said, this is what I wanted, except I wish she would do more, or I expected her to do more. This is the birthday present. Just buckle up.
Okay, that's my birthday present from Daniel. Hoping their tickets to Greece.
Where's it from?
Hoping their tickets to Greece. You know, I am the wife of an extravagantly wealthy man who could buy anything for me. It's my birthday. I've given my entire life and my entire future to him. I'm saying I hope their tickets to Greece because clearly I've been talking about it a lot and I really want to go.
So, plane tickets? Ooh, a hat I can wear in Greece.
She said, I hope they're plane tickets. Then she opened it, saw they're not tickets. Maybe it's like something kind of cute. It's like a hat that he's gonna say, I can take to Greece. Because clearly I am actually expecting this because I've communicated it to him and I really want it and he can make it happen because, oh, I don't know, his dad owns a fucking airline and he can buy me plane tickets to wherever the fuck he wants. He could just ask, Daddy, can I have a plane ticket to Greece for me and my wife? And Daddy will say, yes, son, my handsome little boy. And watch what it is as she opens it up and takes it out of this package because trust me, she's not taking this to Greece.
It's not a hat.
It's not. Oh, my egg apron!
Eggs in it.
Great, I can gather eggs.
So cute. It's really cute.
You see her disassociating there, right here? Yeah, that's definitely me when I'm extremely happy about the egg apron that my billionaire husband got me. I'm being filmed right now. This is a great disappointment. An egg apron. Hey wife, who's given her all to me. Everything about her entire being is under my malleable control in a ranch in the middle of nowhere. And there's no way out. You know what you're gonna get for all the sacrifices you've made? A little tool so you can do more work for me. I want you to have a little tool so you can do more work for me. And by the way, I said to the journalist just a little bit ago, I wish you would pick up the slack a little bit around the house. I thought you would do more for the kids. So, you know, yeah. Happy birthday. Hey, Daniel, I just want you to look at me right now. What are you thinking? Look at me, Daniel. What? It is unreal. How can I know hardly anything about this marriage and immediately know what I could do for her birthday better than her fucking husband who she has 8 kids with? If she's talking about wanting to go to Greece while opening a present, clearly she's talked about it a bunch before and actually expects it. Dude, you're a billionaire. You're a billionaire. It's my birthday. By the way, my birthday's already passed by the time this comes out, but it's my birthday tomorrow. And if Sophia gets me an egg apron, all I'm gonna say, it's gonna be a big problem. Big time problem. Oh fuck, she might have got me egg apron. I'm speechless. Daniel would say, as you should be. You're a woman. That's what Daniel would say. That's what not what I would say. Hey, you want to sip some diet root beer? Grip it like a real cowgirl. Just immediately gripping it like a princess, not a cowgirl. Damn it.
Toothpaste.
That does not taste like toothpaste. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry for saying fuck. Get the hell out of here. I love you. Daniel, be nicer to your wife. Come on. Her in that video versus look at how she is when she's dancing. Me when my billionaire husband buys me a tool to do more work for him for my birthday. Da-da-da-da-da-da. She's actually really good. Like, that's really good ballet. Obviously, she's really good. She was in fucking Juilliard. Look at her. This is her in 2018. She's having a blast. But you compare that to how she acts when she's with the man. Look at this.
And for me, like, my main responsibility, yeah, we're raising the animals, we're taking care of the ranch. I really feel strongly that I have to, support Hannah, and, we have a lot of kids. I can't expect her to take care of the kids all day and also produce the content that she wants to produce as an artist. And so I just have always felt that if I take care of her needs and what she needs, that she can produce her content, and honestly, the business side takes care of itself.
The business side takes care of itself. Oh, the business side, yeah, it's fine. I'm just trying to support her because she can't do everything that I want her to do. I really want her to take care of all the kids, but it's like she has one little nugget of creativity and freedom where she can occasionally film herself doing a little ballerina dance, and it's like, yeah, I wish instead of doing that, she would just sit there and fucking parent like a good mom, but it's fine. It's fine. That's what he's saying while he's sitting out there with his freshly steamed black cowboy hat that he's wearing indoors, cosplaying as a Western cowboy because he wants to feel like a man because he grew up in his father's shadow. The only reason that you have your wife is because you called your daddy for a favor, Daniel. You're not a real man. You're a little tumor that fell off your dad, and you're just suckling at him trying to get back. When you're milking a cow, does it feel like you're milking your father, Daniel? Does it? I just hate him. I hate him. I'm sorry. I hate him. Aside from all the stuff that he's done even to his wife, when I see a fake cowboy, I'm sorry, a rich man acting like a cowboy, you're not. You know, we're out here on the farm, we're doing all of our things. You rented an apartment in the Upper West Side while you were stalking your girlfriend, trying to make her your wife, even though she rejected you and kept saying no, because you were such a little baby that you just needed it. That's not cowboy behavior. Why are your boots so clean? Your boots are a little bit too clean, Daniel. Do you have your wife shine them for you, Daniel? Real cowboys let their boots get muddy because they work in them. And I know it feels like you're working when you have your 6 men that you've hired to actually take care of the farm and they take you as a little ride along, but you're not. I don't know if that's even true, but I think it is. I honestly do. Because look at him, he's not a cowboy. Now, if you think that's it, trust me, there's more. Listen, you might be thinking, okay, well, they have 8 kids. He can't stop putting kids into this woman's body so that she has to give birth to them. He can't stop. So at the very least, because of their vast wealth, he's at least providing some amount of child support, which by the way, is the reason that a lot of people are upset with him at first, because like, obviously they have to have child support. It'd be insane to not have child support. I mean, child care, like nannies and stuff. To do this without nannies is kind of crazy. But check this part of the article. They have a cleaner, but no child care. Neilman, Hannah, does all the food shopping, kids in tow, and cooks from scratch. They don't do ready meals. Cool. Hey, I know there's 10 of us in this household, but I actually don't do things that are ready-made, and I need you to make everything from scratch, including the bread. Despite the more traditional aspects of their relationship, the article continues, Daniel is a hands-on father. Yeah, because he doesn't have anything else to do. He is so rich, he doesn't need to be doing this. He better be hands-on. He takes the kids out to the farm, doing all the laundry. The children appear to look after each other well, too. There are so many ways that they seem to have become an almost self-sustaining entity. Still, Daniel says, Hannah sometimes gets so ill from exhaustion that she can't get out of bed for a week. His wife gets so ill from being so overworked and so exhausted by this lifestyle that he has forced onto her that she can't get out of the bed for a week sometimes, and the birthday present he gave her was an apron. That is a level of, I'm gonna say, douchebag that I can't handle. So when people were like, well, this seems like a fake front that they're putting up where she's actually not doing all this, but she's presenting it as, oh, no, she is. She just didn't want this, and it's actually really sad that she's doing this, and she would probably benefit a lot from some nannies or some help with childcare. But Daniel doesn't do ready-made meals and wishes his wife did more, even though he pushes her to the brink of not to the brink, pushes her to exhaustion so that she can't get out of the bed for a week. But actually, I wish she did a little bit more for me, actually. Shut the fuck up, Daniel. But what happens next in the article is potentially my favorite part, and I highly recommend you go read it. It reads like a spy novel where this journalist is trying to like get Daniel out of earshot so we can ask some questions to get the real information. Because if Daniel's in here, she's gonna not actually answer how she actually feels. Look at this. She says, I just love having them at home. It's so quiet, talking about giving birth to her 8 children. Although Henry and Martha were born in a hospital and people got mad at her for that because they said, well, I thought you were a Tradwife. Who gives a shit? But she says that she gave birth to them without pain relief. The interviewer says, none at all? She shakes her head. Why? Asks the interviewer. She says, I don't know. I just have never loved taking it. She stops herself. Except with Martha, one of the girls who was born in the hospital. I was 2 weeks overdue and she was 10 pounds and Daniel wasn't with me. Daniel, the husband, wasn't with me, ... She lowers her voice. This is so dramatic. Daniel is currently out of the room taking a phone call. She continues, so I got an epidural and it was an amazing experience. Hiding the fact that she got an epidural from her husband because she doesn't want him to know that she got pain relief. So clearly the reason that she hasn't had pain relief before is because he's been there and he doesn't approve of it. Because she described it as an amazing experience and she lowered her voice so he wouldn't hear. The journalist asked, where was Daniel that day? She says, it was shipping day for the meat boxes and he was manning the crew. Yeah, by the way, the crew. I have a hard time believing manning the crew means anything other than standing like this.
Well, now, put that meat over there, boys. I love being a cowboy. Get that cow facing that way. Way to go, gentlemen. I'm a real cowboy.
By the way, why is the framing like this from fucking Long Legs? Let me in now, and it'll be nice. Not once, not twice, but it... You guys know Long Legs? I think I already did that in a video. Damn, it just really stuck with me. I'm scared of that movie. Not as scared as I am of Daniel, because check this out. Anyways, it was shipping day for the meat boxes, and he was manning the crew. The journalist goes, but the epidural was kind of great. She pauses and smiles, it was kind of great. And then the journalist says, I want to ask her about birth control. He's not saying this to her, he's saying this to the article that he wants to ask her about birth control, but that they're surrounded by so many of her children, and Daniel is back in the room now too. So the journalist, by the way, Megan Agnew, shout out Megan Agnew. Megan can sense the tension when Daniel is in the room and how there are certain topics that shouldn't be talked about. Megan is picking up on that. But she says, I pause and look at her fixedly. Plan pregnancies? What happens next? Daniel says no. When he says no, I guess that means when God says no. No, we don't plan pregnancies. When God says no, we don't have. I guess that's what he's saying. But Hannah responds gently. It's very much a matter of prayer for me. I'm like, God, is it time to bring another one to the earth? And I've never been told no. Daniel says, but for whatever reason, it's exactly 9 months after a baby that she's ready for the next one, he says. Daniel says, it's a matter of prayer, but somehow it's exactly 9 months. Megan Agnew, the journalist, continues, the Nealmans have strongly held Mormon beliefs, which they mention far more in person than they do online. That's interesting. The Mormon church emphasizes heterosexual unions and sexual purity. It opposes elective abortions, allowing for exceptions only when the pregnancy results from rape or incest, or when there's a threat of life to mother or fetus. By the way, love it when somebody spells it like foetus, because for real, that little nugget is an op. Get out of here, get out of here. Not a fetus, you're a foetus. Anyways, moral of that story is they have a kid every 9 months. Whatever reason, it's exactly 9 months after a baby that she's ready for the next one. Okay, have you considered, Daniel, a condom? Daniel, listen, you have made your wife do everything for you. Have you considered potentially wrapping that little bad boy up so that your wife can potentially pursue even one of her dreams? Have you considered that? Have you considered taking it out, maybe trying to do anything other than impregnate this woman so that she can't do anything other than foster your children and do nothing else with her life. Have you considered that potentially, and I know this is gonna sound crazy to you, Daniel, she is her own woman who might wanna do something other than raising your kids? I don't know. Have you considered the fact that she didn't even wanna date you for 6 months? And the only reason she did is because you called your daddy and got a plane ticket to sit next to her like a fucking creep. And then she said, for a year, I don't want to get married. And then 3 months later, you were married to her. And then 3 months after that, you had a kid and she had to give up her ballet life and then move to a farm to raise these kids with you. Or sorry, raise these kids for you, although she's not doing enough, but you are doing the laundry as we read earlier. And then you could just give her another kid the second that she's done. Maybe probably the whole time she's like, okay, but once this is over, once this kid is over, I can't wait to get back to ballet and I'm really gonna be able to pursue it. Oh, bam, another kid. Then she's like, fuck, this is really shitty, but you know what? Honestly, it's great to be a mother and I love this. It's such a beautiful life, but I can't wait till this one's over and I can focus more on ballet. Bam, another kid. And then 5 more times. Daniel, we do not need more of your progeny in this world. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. You have 8. 8 is plenty. 8 is more than enough. You can stop. You can go snip, snap. Oh my God, your wife is 34 years old and she has 8 children. So the moment that she started dating you, her life has been nothing other than filling the mold that you have created for her. And when she's with you, we see her faces like this. Or, egg apron, I really wanted to go to Greece. It's really cute. And when she's doing ballet, she's looking like this, you know, actually believing in herself, loving herself, having a great time. Hey, have you considered, Daniel, that the joy of your wife kind of matters a little bit? No, obviously not, because you're acting like it doesn't matter at all. Meanwhile, the entire reason that this incredibly talented ballerina with a full ride scholarship to Juilliard, I cannot emphasize enough, a full ride scholarship to Juilliard, she had a amazingly bright future in ballet ahead of her. You said, actually, I have so much money and I'd rather she stay here while I get 8 real cowboys to do the work in front of me while I man the crew.
Hey, pick up that shovel. Hey, you pick up that pitchfork. Hey, start digging in the dirt a little bit. Hey, get that cow to face that way. I'm a cowboy. Ride 'em, baby.
That's you, Daniel. Do you think that that life is actually better and deserving more respect and care dedicated to it than somebody who got a full ride scholarship to Juilliard? Buddy, you are so fucking rich, you should have fueled her entire life and all of her dreams with your fucking money, because clearly you have nothing other than a desire to get out of the shadow of your own dad when all you can do is ask him for favors to get yourself everything that you could ever fucking want. Have you considered that maybe your desires and your dreams are a little bit selfish and just focused on getting out from under your dad's shadow? And even when you're doing that, all you're doing is hiring people with daddy's money to do the real work for you so that you can cosplay as a cowboy, while somebody who actually has talent, who actually had a future in doing something amazing and unique that not a lot of people are able to do, you took her and you trapped her in your life where she has to raise your kids on your farm in your life. You are the son of a billionaire. The only thing that you should have been doing is saying, oh my God, I'm glad I'm so rich. Let me put all of this money behind you so that you can pursue this career in art fully happily. And you would do that if you loved her more than you loved yourself. Daniel, you are such a little loser boy. And the fact that she is so scared that she can't even say that she got an epidural around you because she's scared that you're gonna judge her and get upset with her for that, bro, fuck off. Fuck off. You're just a loser. You're a loser. Sorry, everybody who's watching this video understands it. We're all on the same page. It's not hard to be a better husband than that. Like, it really isn't. Most people are. It's not even like me on a high horse being like, I can't believe you're like this. You suck objectively from an average point of view. If you as a person were average and treated your wife averagely, imagine how much happier she would be. But instead, everything's about you. You suck, Daniel. Sorry, you suck. But that's my opinion. Now, Daniel, I'm gonna ask you to do one thing to turn your life around. Fire your crew for 1 month and genuinely try to run the farm by yourself. Prove that you're doing that, and then maybe I'll respect you as a cowboy, but I will never respect you as a husband or a father. Hey, and if you love this video, hey, all I'm gonna say is please subscribe. Hey.
Man, I love diet root beer. Listen, there's no calories in it. What's the problem? Oh, there are studies that suggest overweight people drink a lot of diet drinks. Yeah, it's because if you're overweight and you're trying to lose weight, you're gonna drink diet drinks. Doesn't mean that it's not good. Doesn't mean that I should just start getting regular ones with the calories in them when I like it so much when it's diet. I love diet root beer. Everybody say it with me right now. Diet root beer, 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 diet root beer,